We need muscle mass for longevity and mobility. More and more research is coming out that when we look at elderly populations, when we look at sarcopenia, age related muscle mass, when we look at osteopenia and osteoporosis, age related loss of bone density, these are things that put us at a very high risk of falls and injuries that can often be debilitating and sometimes lower our lifespan and shorten our life, because whenever our mobility is affected and we can't even walk and move and do things for ourselves, that changes our lifespan dramatically. There's also the benefits of resistance training and having more muscle mass on things like our insulin sensitivity. And we know that we have a significant issue with diabetes and metabolic disorders in the US in particular. Cardio is great. In my dream world, you're also doing cardio. In my dream world, maybe there's 2 lifting sessions and we could do 10 minutes of cardio a week too. Can we fit in like a 1 mile run or 10 minutes in the Stairmaster? It doesn't have to be super long. The best program is comprehensive and does include that cardiovascular fitness as well. But cardio does not offer the same resistance stimulus for our muscles and our bones and isn't as protective of mobility over time.
Okay. I if you're listening, did you just make the connection? And I'm asking the listeners this. I hope you made the connection between exercising, as in strength training, not doing cute little, I don't know, what do you call it, Zumba classes. No offense if you like Zumba, but I'm sorry, man. Science is science. Well, I'm not sorry. But we just made
Yeah.
a connection between training, building muscle mass and training your muscles with longevity and chronic diseases like diabetes. Like, if your brain is not going, wow, 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 okay. when do I when do I sign up for my next session or whatever so I can get strength training in? How do I put it into
Yes.
my calendar? Then please rewind and listen to what Dela just said. So
Yeah.
Dela, so that's on the working outside. And I know that we can go into more depth here. I think something, just one thing real quick, and then I'll ask you a question about food. Something that hurts my heart when I see people who are starting their strength training journey for the first time is their ego getting in the way. And I see them doing really poor form and very heavy weights.
Mm-hmm.
Please, how would you advise people to start? Especially if maybe, yeah, they kind of have their way, they know their way around the gym, maybe. Like, where should they start?
Yeah. Well, I would start by saying the most impressive thing that you can do in the gym is have good form. The people that know what lifting looks like, the form is going to be way sexier than the weight that you have on the bar. So let's first nail the form so that we don't get injured and then we're out of the gym, and like what good is going to the gym anyways if we're constantly getting injured and then we can't go back and participate and be consistent. So if you're brand new and you don't really know what good form looks like, or just how to practice it yet, one, I would say like using machines. Machines can be strategic for beginners. I'm thinking like the seated leg extensions, even leg press machines, seated leg curls, lying leg curls, like these kinds of machines, even the upper body like presses, they have a path that the machine will take you that is usually protective of form. When we think about dangerous injuries, it might be more going for really heavy dumbbells or putting yourself under a barbell, like a barbell back squat or a barbell bench press that you weren't prepared for. And then there's absolutely no path and it's truly all on you to stabilize that weight. So think about starting with machines. Think about starting with dumbbells. When in doubt, go light. Surprise yourself that it was really easy and then go back for heavier weight. You don't want to surprise yourself that it was too heavy and get caught in the moment. And even if you don't want to hire like an in-person trainer, some people are like, I don't want somebody, walking around pointing at my form in front of other people at the gym. I want more privacy than that, which I totally understand. there are resources that you can utilize, and you can like privately film yourself to assess your form and kind of teach yourself good form. When I first learned, I would record myself discreetly and then compare it to YouTube videos and kind of self teach. We also, like, not even meaning this as a plug, but it's going to sound like a plug. In our app's $20 a month. And on every single exercise, we have a form video of somebody demoing it and talking you through it, setup, how to pick it up, how to not make a mistake. And so like there's lots of apps like that these days, but you can find apps that are actually going to teach you and take you through the form. And then, in another best case scenario, it's kind of what you and I do together, where you can record yourself in the gym, send the video to me, and I can give you feedback. And what I find working with people is I'll have clients send me form videos every week, and they only usually do it for the first like 1 to 2 months of working together, and then they've got it. And I'll work with people for like years on end. And it's really just the beginning, like weeks, couple of months that it takes to kind of get it down. And then you've got those skills for life. And now you can increase the weight. Now you can increase the sets and the reps and do more and more impressive things because you know you're going to be able to do it safely.
You know what my favorite part is, and I think this is going to help people that are just to, their ego gets in the way. The fact that they can help themselves. I love how you said you recorded yourself and you compared yourself with actual YouTube videos to see what you were doing wrong. Like, guys and girls, if you don't want anyone to see that you're a beginner, I don't know why. Maybe we're going to create another episode for that. This is
Yeah.
something that you can do. And when I was talking about how people don't invest, they don't put value on coaches in this types of areas, this just goes to show you that the investment doesn't even need to be up to a one-on-one investment if that's not your jam. $20 a month for an app that is going to show you not just the workouts you should do, but how to actually do it safely.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got my Netflix auto bill the other day and it was $17 something. I'm just saying. When I go out,
Same.
yeah, when I go out and I order, I don't know, salmon something something. Like the bill is at least if it has any protein on it, is at least $25. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm just letting you guys know, like, make it make sense, yeah? Okay, so now final question, hopefully. Oh my gosh, like, oh, I wish we could go longer. Okay.
I know we could talk about any one of these topics for
For
days.
days. Exactly, exactly. Food. Okay. Let me
Yes.
tell you what my own gripe is right now. And then you can then give everybody your advice on how to start, where to start. I see some people, they're like, okay, I want to get healthier, right? Busy professionals. And they're always thinking, how can I make this thing easier for me? We've been trained to think, how can I optimize? How can I work smarter? Blah, blah, blah. And they go and they get protein shakes. And they get like, oh, I need to get my creatine and I need to get my BCAs. And I'm like, sis, what are you having for breakfast?
Yeah.
What is your lunch? What is your dinner? I would say some people say, oh, the ingredients, yeah, it has like too many crazy things there that I can't pronounce. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, before you start focusing on the ingredients and, oh, it has peg, something, something on it, like, can you even try to get your square meals? Do you know how much you should be eating? Like, the
Yeah.
basics, that stuff just drives me crazy. But that's why I'm not the nutrition and fitness. You are, so you have that patience. What is your advice for busy people in optimizing their nutrition, especially during the week? During the week is tough. The weekend is another
Yeah.
question, but during the week, what's your advice on to optimizing that?
Yeah. So I agree with you. Sometimes people think I'm going to get healthy. What supplements do I need? When we're not even evaluating the foundations, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner and our snacks. Like, you're eating every day already. There's something that you're doing that should be optimized before we supplement, as like the name literally insinuates. So I am all about the busy meals and the busy person hacks. I really dislike cooking and I wish that I liked it more. But things that I do, like, don't be afraid of frozen options. I think that a lot of people think that frozen vegetables are like to be frowned upon, or frozen meats, and that these aren't good options. They're often fresher and they have the same quality in terms of nutrients, often even higher because they're preserved and they're frozen than some fresh options. And they make it easy for somebody who just worked a really long day and just got home to throw a healthy dinner together and not always be turning to like DoorDash and Uber Eats. So, like, we will do rotisserie chickens all day because it's fully cooked. It's chicken. You just pull a chunk off and you've got your protein for the night. Frozen protein sources. If you've got a Costco membership, bulk protein that's super, super cheap. Costco is great for that. Frozen vegetables. And then even frozen fruit can be great for breakfast smoothies. I remember, whenever I was a nurse, I didn't have the luxury of eating breakfast at home. Maybe some of your listeners don't either, and they need something on the go. That can be an opportunity. Fruit, get that protein powder that you were talking about, make a smoothie, drink it during your commute, drink it on your way to work. And you are going to have to prepare your meals the night before for the next day's lunch if you're out of the house. That's just something that you're going to have to do. If you're always like, I don't have time, so I'm going out to lunch, like, you're going to waste more money and you're going to waste a lot of calories and probably eat things that aren't as supportive of your health. So you could, be the person that meal preps on like Sundays and makes like, 4 lunches for the week. I also have a rule of thumb that makes it kind of easy for me, that I'm like, anytime that I sit down to make something, I make 4 servings, period. If I'm making myself dinner tonight, I'm making 4 servings of it. So now I have lunch tomorrow. If I'm going to spend any amount of time being in the kitchen, I'm going to batch and get more bang for my buck. And if you're a high performer too, you probably batch a lot in your work already because you're always looking for efficiency and to get the most bang for your buck. So if you ever are going to prepare something, just make extra. If you have the time one morning to make yourself a breakfast burrito, make 2. Put the other one in the fridge or the freezer for tomorrow's breakfast that you can like heat up and then take on the go. So don't be afraid of like convenient food hacks at the grocery store. I don't know why we look down on those, but then we think that like eating out is superior. It's not. So don't be afraid for those conveniency based hacks at the grocery store. Always make more. And yes, you are going to have to think ahead to a certain degree, because if you're eating out of the house for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's probably going to be really difficult to meet your micronutrient needs, your protein needs, your fiber needs, and maybe your budgetary needs too.